Previously, when it comes to the anime Devilman, I'd only seen the live-action film from 2004. So before this, I didn't have a ton of exposure to the character. Yeah, that means I didn't see Devilman Crybaby. Try or whatever. Well, honestly, I don't have much, knowledge about it. Besides, say, a guy who has the ability to turn into a demon devil and fight other demons and other things. But what's the actual show about? It's about a demon possessing the body of a young man named Akira. Who tries to protect his girlfriend, Mickey, and others from demons. So basically that whole gist of it is basically a Monster of the Week kind of show. And so for this kind of series, the show version came out in 1972. And yeah, when it comes to this though, I will be looking at episodes 1 through 10 of it. And be aware though, most of the clips I will be using are, in the original, language, so Japanese. And when I went to do my research for this, try to find the clips and all that, most of them, I couldn't really find the, a sub version of it. But, let's move on. Let's get this started. So what was episode 1? Episode 1 was released on July 8th, 1972. It's titled The Devil Tribe Revived. The first episode tells the story of Akira Fudo, who gets possessed by Devilman. The one thing that makes me wonder is that during the episode, he kind of becomes a rebel, attacking anyone who looks at him funny.
Miki-chan!
Heck, at one point he tries to run over the teacher on his way to school. So that's the thing that happens. When he's at Mickey's home, and the first, demon of the episode of the show, which his name is Hinji, shows up and starts causing mayhem in the home. And on the course of it, I did find it enjoyable. It didn't, so yeah, at the beginning of the episode, his father dies because him and his dad fall into a chasm. So my thinking is, Mickey's family basically takes him in a way, since I guess he doesn't have any other family left. But overall, and for this episode, it's overall a good start to it. This, my show. So, let's look at episode 2, which was released on July 15th, 1972, which is called The Demonic Beast Celine. In this episode, a siren is called to figure out why Devilman betrayed the demons. For this episode, I thought it was pretty entertaining for quite a few reasons, such as the fight scenes. The moment of the episode that really an idea me really stuck with me on how memorable, like, it is the doll that comes to life and attacks Mickey.
かわいいお嬢ちゃん、私と一緒に来ておくれ。逃げようとしても無駄なこと。みんなおとなしくお休みだよ。
However, this one was pretty good from its animation to the final battle with Devilman versus Celine. So, a good episode. And yes, I know I'm probably saying the animation. Most of the animation was from Toei, I believe. And I gotta say, I kind of like the animation style for it. One of the things that was very prevalent in the beginning of the show is that whenever Devilman transforms, he has his, if there's a fight sequence, there is, a theme song to it, how he was, didn't understand things and all that. And I think it would only be in the show for a few episodes before it was, I guess the animators and the creator probably say, I think they get it kind of vibes. Look at episode 3, which was released on July 29th, 1972. It's called Demonic Beast George. And perhaps this is George, but minus the O. In this episode, another demon is called to go after Devilman. This episode brings back that Akira is a terror, with him swinging his belt, like he's a crazy person. Well, at first, his Mickey was going to say, "Hey, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? This is, you're acting insane." Well, he was doing it mostly because there were guys that were looking at Mickey. The demon George has a cool design for this episode, and he can be chopped up and have his body reformed. It's sort of like the idea of a Hydra, like from Hercules, and all that. And one thing I think is kind of amusing is that he shoots acid from his from his ass. Or maybe his butt. I do find it funny how Devilman kills this bad guy and that he throws him into the ocean. He's kind of a slug, I believe. So, the ocean has salt. So, you get the idea? He basically evaporates. And on a way. So, I kind of liked it. I'm getting into the show, if you can't tell. So, episode 4. It was released on August 5th, 1972. The Demon General Zenon. And I gotta put a warning for this one before I get into it. Warning: if you're afraid of spiders, if you're having a sense of arachnophobia, skip this episode. Demon General Zenon is selected to take over Devilman's original mission. He is dispatched to Japan with Demon Vetra. I kind of like the art at the beginning of this episode, when it's talking about the demon world, like how, before the humans got there, and the idea of, them being trapped in there and ice. Is honestly visually a cool. I do have to say there are some things that probably, like, say this came out today, it'd probably be like, say, ugh. Whether it's the teacher trying to get the autograph of a celebrity. He even gets in a fight with Mickey's little brother. I mean, eventually both of them are able to get autographs, but the teacher, he gets on his chest, and I mean, it makes me feel okay. Yeah. There can be some moments, like in the fact that the spiders of the episode, they can start possessing others. So that is one thing that makes it like, say, okay, this is the monster of the week's kind of vibes that the show is trying to latch itself onto. And yeah, there's some moments that are like, say, whether it's the teacher getting possessed, like a woman on a plane, I think it's a train, causing a crash, or heck, even the Mickey's parents get possessed. So, I gotta say, this episode was entertaining. I kind of liked it. Next episode is episode 5 from August 12th, 1972, The Sleeping Beauty Zolder. Beginning of the episode starts with the Demon Lord saying, "New General, here's the plan!" And Mickey being harassed by the teachers. Yes, there's a moment where this girl, she is harassed. Like, I'm just saying, like, say, Japan's weird. Himura, Iowa, arrives at the school, and there are kind of fights. He's basically the, rival to, Kira. There's a sequence when they are racing each other. They both, ride motorcycles. The race of the episode reminds me, when we see their face, like, whatever. Sort of like how, like, the face you see in Speed Racer. Like, when the group finds Alita, how the dad reacts is brilliant. Like, say, "Oh, a beautiful woman." The main demon of the episode is kind of cool visually. There could be some lines I can make fun of, I suppose, like this one.
Oh, I'm a vampire. Duh.
That was my next guess.
The Demon World house scene is, I think, is pretty visually kind of cool. Especially when it comes to the animation of vibes, because, the visual medium. But overall, not a bad episode. Pretty good. 6, The Head of Rickafull. This one was released in August 19th, 1972. Mickey's father works to reconstruct the face of the skull of a young woman who died 200 years ago. It comes to life, and Devilman has to fight it. There are some moments that caught me by surprise. Like a scientist kicking a cat. The demon of this episode reminds me of a Titan from Attack on Titan when he grows to a gigantic size. It's sort of like, say, how the the enemies of Power Rangers, when Rita Repulsion was like saying, "Make my monster grow!" And again, Power Rangers. So, overall, pretty good. Episode 7. The Terrifying Puppet Emissary Zulu. From August 26th, hey, that's my birthday! 1972. Puppeteer Zulu and Demon Albi sets their sights on Mickey. Zulu makes clay puppets of people, sort of like voodoo dolls. And he kind of enjoys that. And discovers in this episode, and we also discover in this episode that Mickey is big into sports. And that Akira has a jealous side. Well, I think we all do. At times, I think Akira is kind of a jerk. And not the most likable. In that he kind of treats Mickey terribly. So, yeah, maybe this was just like the time it came out from the 1970s. Maybe they had different perspectives on how, or maybe this is just how it is in the manga. Too. I haven't read it, so I can't really just say, hey, you know, shouldn't be that critical of, like, say, if I haven't read it, to, you know, give a different perspective. Let's look at episode 8. Lemon and Bao, from September 2nd, 1972. Demon Lemon disguises herself as a student in order to kill Mickey. And in this episode, when her cover is blown by Devilman, her brother and Bao come to rescue. Her brother Bao comes to her rescue. I do have to say, there's some kind of cute moments, like Mickey's little brother. He kind of gets a girlfriend, like when he's trying to get to school, and the little girl goes like saying, "I'll get you there," and he's the one having to pedal. It's kind of cute, and he's got like, yeah. Lemon is kind of like, she's kind of like a lizard in that she can cling to walls and use her tongue as a way to attack. And I'm sure before COVID, that was someone's kink. Yeah! Speaking of kinks, are the creators into something, or was this in the manga? Because, like, I haven't seen, like, a lot of animes from the 70s, so I don't know. Is this a very common thing of almost getting 2 levels of what would be considered? I don't know. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that. On YouTube. Devilman also has the ability of Sonic Hearing, which is cool. Overall, this isn't like, you know, bad. After the brother gets defeated, the sister vows revenge. But how does that go? Not so well, it seems. So, episode 9. The Brainwave Demon Beast Condroma. September 9th, 1972. Brainwave Demon Condom uses his powers to control animals and spread chaos in the human world. Himura moves in on Miki. And if you're wondering who that is, he's the, the rival to, the main character, protagonist. A mouse becomes possessed and attacks Tar. While Miki believes, Kira, he's a total savage in the fact, he tries to defend her little brother when he sees what's going on here. Himura is definitely a part of the bad guys, because every time something bad happens, he seems to always know what's going on and isn't freaked out at all. Say, maybe the creators of this show, the manga and all that, were probably inspired by Alfred Hitchcock, because when the pets, especially the birds, when it suddenly starts to turn into the birds, in a moment. At least I feel like that. But overall, a good episode, I think. I'm really getting into the show, if you can't tell. Episode 10, Demon Beast Gande. The Walking Eye, September 16th, 1972. Devilman faces off against the Gan triplets, a trio of demons who all demonstrate a variety of abilities related to their eyes. I do like that Miki is a good sister to protect her little brother. Whenever she suddenly hears him, in fear. Everyone keeps saying, eyes, and if I was to see, someone just, like that...
Run! Jesus, run!
To see a giant cyclops from fantasy and all that, that'd be kind of, freaky. I feel like I'd be running like this. When Gander shows up, who is the protagonist, he shows up, it makes me think the students haven't seen all this, because he shows up in the classroom. And yeah, that's when we have all the battle sequences and all that. And I don't know. I do find it funny when Tar sees the crazy stuff and Gandhi showing up. It's in a art, exhibit. And here, basically, he's ripping the picture off the wall. It suddenly becomes Looney Tunes, and the fact, not because there's any cartoony sounds, but it's suddenly hello. Because he goes huh? And the way he beats the bad guys of this episode is using both the Devil Beam and Devil Arrows to bind them. Devilman has a lot of powers and abilities that he can use to fight. And overall, I do think this episode is good, and I think there is a bit of a great weight in the episode 10, is in the fact that Tar, he ends up seeing more eyes on a billboard, or maybe it's as a sign for the doctor that has the, I think it's an optometrist. I can't remember the name for the person that does eyes. I mean, I really gotta say I kind of enjoy the show. It makes me think, oh, yeah, they really dropped the ball with that, the Devilman, film, live action film. Perhaps. See you next time.